Folks, the button has been pressed, which means we might be live as I'm saying it, but I will give you the thumbs up when I know for sure. Usually Keith has to cough through it, and now we're live. See? There we go.
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
JP McDade. Hello, JP.
Hello, Keith and the Girl and others. What's going on?
JP is a fantastic comedian. You know this. KeithAndTheGirl.com/JP McDade. You'll see all the times he's been on. He's glorious. We did our second Keith and the Girl roast during the pandemic some time ago. People figuring out Zoom for the first time, but he's such a pro. The whole thing went off without a hitch. And I'm very excited to report he'll be recording his new special. Because JP, you're so fucking funny, and I see all this other shit out there, and what are we even talking about? Is it just time to do a special, or do you see other shit and be like, well, come on?
Well, I think you nailed it. I think it's a combination of time and also spite.
Right.
I'm tired of anyone else having opportunities other than me. I think
I'm a
I should
white
be
man,
the only
God
person.
damn it.
That's you
Right.
said it, Hemda. I'm bringing you. You're going to open for me, and you're going to start the
Folks,
crowd.
there's a reason why you hate him, and today we're recording it. Here's your next white guy.
Well, actually, I need a not white to introduce me, Kemda. What are you doing?
Yes, it sanitizes. Yes, but no,
Please.
Yeah.
Here with his thoughts on Israel, JP McDade.
A solid hour. Nothing but. Yeah.
Do you just you know what you're doing, but once in a blue moon, bad crowd, bad time, whatever the fuck, and maybe a show doesn't go so well, are you like, fuck, maybe I'm not ready to do a special? Do you doubt yourself still, or you so much a pro that doesn't happen?
It's kind of a minute to minute thing. There are times when I'm like, oh, I'm not ready at all, and then the next minute the egomania kicks in, and it's like, why haven't I recorded 12 hours already? Why don't I have the Mark Twain prize? This is bullshit. But no, this material is tried and true enough. There's like a good mix of new and old, where I'm like, I'm ready to just do this and be done with a lot of the old stuff, and like get into the next chapter of whatever it is I do. But yeah, I'm excited about it. It's going to be December 17th. We're taping at the Bell House in Brooklyn, 2 shows. Tickets are available through the link on my Instagram, which is McDade Baby. And if you want, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's probably where it's going to wind up.
Only
Excellent.
if you want.
Only if you want.
Only if you want.
Only
I will not coerce you.
Consensual YouTube following only. In fact,
That's
everyone
right.
who's watching right now on YouTube Live, please, if you did not consent to that button, undo it. We are not here for unconsensual clicking of like buttons.
If you're feeling consensual, my YouTube is JP McDade Comedy, all one word. But again, don't read any threats into what I'm saying. There's no underlying threat of violence.
I'm not touching you. Yeah.
Do you, when I go to get my ticket, I think I'm going to get the second show. Should I announce that to the audience? Because the first one usually fills up. And to me, the second show, people get a little looser and nuts, and maybe they yell at the audience. That's why I'm a second show kind of guy. Or do we just leave it up to whatever happens?
I like that. Second show is for the freaks. The freaks like Keith. Come on out. You're welcome. Freaks welcome for the second show. And we know we'll cut them together. It'll be a nice blend of good church folk in the early crowd, and then the sinners.
If you're put at the table 23 at a wedding, go to the second show, right? I see what you're saying. JP can spend about
damage control table.
That's the way I'm seeing it. I'm starting to take it personally. JP has about a half hour with us, but also joining us, Shawn Carter. Hello, Shawn. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Good. Hey, thanks for having me.
Shawn is new to the Keith and the Girl universe, but I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Also, Shawn is a comedy club owner as well as a stand-up comedian. Is this correct?
So this
That's
is an
correct.
audition for JP today.
Yeah.
I'm sending in my tape as we speak.
Well, I got a advanced copy of your album, Shawn, coming out the December 15th. Boston to Bristol. Bristol is in Tennessee.
Yeah, that's
right.
And
you moved from the city of Boston to Bristol. And whoever said, hey, are you interested in this guy, Shawn, wrote, he has an interesting story because he drove in an RV and accidentally moved to Bristol, Tennessee. Was that a mistype? How do you accidentally move? Where were you trying to go? Miami?
Yeah, no. Well, my wife and I were trying to go just travel around the country, and we moved into an RV in February of 2020,
How
and
come?
we're
Just kidding.
We asked we had a guest on some time ago, and that they brought up I live out of my car, and I'm like, oh, tell me about that. Like, I don't want to. I'm like, okay, but shit, your album's called "I Live Out of My Car," and B. I'm just saying, is it quite okay to say what makes you live in an RV at first?
Well, I
um,
assumed it was the pandemic of 2020, but
well, we moved into the RV before like everything shut down, and my wife and I we just thought that we would go try to visit a bunch of cities and see like where we wanted to move because we knew we want to move out of Boston. And we visited Bristol because that's like her hometown, and we were there when everything shut down. So then we were just stuck there because campgrounds were closed, everything was closed.
so you
Is it
couldn't even go in the RV to other locations?
No, I mean, unless you wanted to go boondocking where you're not hooked up to water or electricity or anything like that, all the campgrounds are closed, really.
so
To
you
do-
would so where would you be?
Yeah.
Well, we were in Bristol, Tennessee, because that's like her hometown, so we were visiting her parents.
Yeah, but where are you dumping the poop? I mean,
Oh,
if you can be in Bristol, you could be anywhere if you're dumping poop.
No, you're staying at your parents. You're staying at
yeah, we
her
were
parents'
staying at my
house.
in-laws. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
that's where you're dumping
Yeah.
poop. All right. McDade was curious. I just have to ask.
We have a
Do
side chat going.
who So you say, how do you? Is it cool to live in an RV? I always thought it'd be the coolest. People laugh at trailers. I'm like, that seems sweet.
Man, I wish I had gotten the chance to find out, but honestly, we moved into the RV and we were in there for like a week, So it's like if you've gone camping, you've done as much RV living as I have, really.
Okay,
But it's
And-
been 3 years, almost 4.
Yeah, so when we moved, so we ended up buying a house in Bristol. So like we haven't been living in
What?
an RV the whole time.
Okay, I think this is a plan by your wife. Don't tell her, but I think this sounds very calculated.
you guys there was a room made up already whenever you visited that night, and then there happens to be a house available down the block.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so when you're living with her parents, then it goes, hey, we kind of like do you like this town anyway? Let's get a house here since we're here and we all like my parents. Is that how it worked?
Sort of. There was also an added we took in a child, we took in a baby, so we also were staying nearby so that we could continue.
Did she tell you that then?
Did you fall onto opposite day and it just went extreme? You wanted to live free, get in your RV, travel around. Instead, you're in her hometown, fresh baby, everything that's cementing you into the exact. Where's your RV and how much are you selling it for?
Yeah, we sold it a while ago for what we bought it for, just to unload it.
Yeah, I have news for you. You guys were in an RV for a week and said, nah.
Right.
That's what I think happened. I think you were like, this isn't like living in New York where they call their apartments tiny houses. I can smell your shit and I'm driving.
When you adopted a baby, were you in the RV at the time?
No, we had moved into a house by then.
Okay,
You
and yeah, your wife tricked you. There's no other way. This makes sense. So, hey, we're here. Let's get rid of the RV. You know what? We're here. Let's adopt a baby. We're here. Oh, we're here. Why don't you get a job and run a comedy club? I mean, we're here. And anyway, here's the numbers you can call. Hands you a piece of paper. I mean, if you're happy, you're happy. But you were bamboozled. Okay.
I'm happy. I'm glad she tricked me.
Is this true, by the way? In your album, you mentioned the second wedding. This is your second marriage, and she was divorced too. First you said, she goes, "Oh, I had big news. I was divorced." And you're like, "Oh, great, I was divorced too." She said, "And I never want to get married again." You said, "That's great. I never want to get married again either. We have so much in common. Let's get married." So you get married, and
well, they had so much in common.
Is it true that her ex-husband wanted to walk her down the aisle? Is that a joke or is that true?
No, that's a joke. I took a little artistic liberty there.
Okay, all right.
Are they just that close?
Her ex-husband?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No,
Okay.
there was just a JP. Are you friends with any of your exes?
Not really, no. Well,
Okay.
no, actually, no. You know what? Like, if you include situationships, yes, I'm still friends with all of them. Keep your friends close, your enemies closer, your situationships right in your hip pocket the whole time.
There's like on Facebook, it's complicated and then it's a situation. All right.
Yes,
I get that.
exactly. And I do share an RV with a couple of them, but
Right.
that's just strictly professional. There's no emotional attachment.
Shawn, you met your I do want to talk okay, let me talk about the comedy club first. Is that a lot of pressure dealing with comedians? You're going to meet comedians everywhere, being a comic yourself. Are they trying to get booked or on your shows? And and you interact with them. You can't act like you're just management because you're one of the kids too.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot. Well, there's not really anybody who lives near me though. That's the thing. It's not like I'm out at a
How's
show.
the club doing? What do you mean?
The club's doing fine, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm not like hanging out after a show with like a bunch of like 12 people in New York that are like, so when am I getting booked? You know what I mean? There's not
I
really
see.
many comedians that live near me, so I don't really run into that. It's all done through email.
Okay. What's the toughest part of a comedy club? Let JP know. What's the toughest part about running it? Because everybody thinks it's so fucking easy.
I think just trying to figure out who can sell tickets. There's some people can, some people can't, and sometimes it's hard to tell because it's not just to do with how funny they are.
So it is true that the comedians need to sell tickets, not the actual venue. Because
I've always said that. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Please, no.
No, I've always said that the greatest weakness of comedy clubs is that they have to sell tickets.
Right.
Otherwise, they would all be good. There would be good comics performing there all the time.
Right.
It's funny, like you need to be able to sell in Bristol, where not Europe, where you need to be hot fire in Bristol, wherever the fuck, to go to the comedy place.
But let's say you take JP a New York City, for example. Is it a kick in the pants?
Huge draw, massive draw.
But is it a kick in the pants when they go, "Oh yeah, you don't go up right now, JP. We have a TikTok guy that smashes his face in watermelons. It's not funny per se, but
we have an Instagram dog who wants to do 15. So if you could just kind of hang.
Do you ever feel bad like that, Shawn? Like us, shit. I am selling out. I have to get some wacko act that I know isn't that funny, and the other comedians are gonna hate me, but I got to keep the lights on. And if they want drink tickets, this is the game we have to play.
Also, welcome to the show.
I've mostly booked people that I just like, whether or not I haven't been booking TikTok people and stuff like that. But I'm on the brink of it. I might have to start doing it soon.
Right.
There's a balance to strike, but like seriously though, we as comics, like we really do appreciate when a venue or a club is run by a comedian, or at least someone who used to do comedy or whatever, like someone who actually has experience being on stage, because they just have that like other level of understanding. Like they know where you're coming from. They know how to strike that balance between like developing new people and bringing in the people who are a draw and knowing how to run a show more than anything else.
That's so interesting, because there are a few jobs where it would be so helpful if the person in charge used to do that work, but it's never like in a law firm or a medical. It's like, hey, you shouldn't be managing me if you were never a waiter. Or I remember when I was doing kids parties and somebody bought out one of the companies I worked for. I'm like, do you even know how to book Santa? Like, this is ridiculous.
Do you ever have to deal with hecklers or let's see, Tennessee, or rifles? You ever have to put somebody in their place or kick them out?
I haven't had to deal with a lot of hecklers, but yeah, now and then, just like any comedy club, And
what's your policy?
Yeah, comedy clubs are all different. They're usually pussies.
Yeah, well, mine is essentially like, if it looks like the comedian's not able to, if it's too much for the comedian to handle, I'll go over and tell them to shut up, and if they don't, then I'll tell them to leave. But
how do you find out? Do you yell, "Hey, can you handle it? This started. Can you handle this?"
I feel like you can tell whether somebody's really being bothered or whether they're able to play off of it. Some people are much better with it than others, you know?
I think it's very telling that there's a person who set up the camera beforehand. He's got this. He's looking for the TikTok video of somebody yelling and screaming in the audience of him.
You know what? That's a good point. What do you think about this, JP? Does it matter? And Shawn, do you find this in your club now? More and more people are doing crowd work, and I feel it's really confusing the audience. Like even before I saw this crowd work stuff in little clip form is how I mostly see it, on social media, like we all do. And maybe just regular civilians think it's cute. To me, I'm like, this is going to confuse everything, because even before this, I'd see, somebody goes, "Hey, where are you from?" And I'm like, why do you think the audience isn't going to be confused now as the show goes on later and you're doing your prepared stuff? Now it's nothing but crowd work. Kind of lazy, but they happen to get gold, so they only show you 30 seconds of it. I'll start with JP. Is it ruining comedy? And then I'll ask you, Shawn, what you think?
Not to lead the witness or nothing.
Not to lead the witness. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine.
Can't tell how you feel, Keith. I don't.
Keith is like scale of 7 to 10. How much is it ruining comedy? But I don't think it's on its face ruining comedy. And here's why I say that. I've been opening for Stavros on the road on his theater tour. We've done like 20 cities this year. And I've always known him as a comedian with material. He's a brilliant comedian, but he got big off of crowd work clips. Like that's how he grew his YouTube channel and his social media. And yeah, there is an element of people expecting the show to be that. But I'd say overall, his audiences have been really, really good. There's just like a handful of people, maybe one or two in a city who will like yell shit out or think.
And that's the same as Broadway, right? Like same odds.
Oh, is that happening in Broadway too?
No, who knows? See what I did?
Bring out the cats. We want to see the cats.
Where the fuck is the helicopter, asshole?
Where's Mufasa?
Do the one with the helicopter.
The way I think it's like deteriorating comedy a little bit, like the audiences, there is that mix. Like some of them get it, some of them don't. I feel like most of them get it, but comedians, some of them are just chasing clips. Some of them are just looking for those crowd work interactions, and they're not, built like newer and intermediate comedians are not like building material because they want to chase these clips and get likes. I mean, that I could see having like a long-term impact on comedy, but like anything else, funny wins at the end of the day. Some people are really good at crowd work and some are not.
It seems like I think they're encouraging heckling and they kind of want it because that's the clip. Am I right?
Okay, no. But overall, in most cases, no. But they're like, I mean, there's maybe one or two comedians who are like the owns heckler type of guy, and they like will literally encourage people to heckle them. But I think that's rare. I don't think even a crowd work based comedian, I don't think even they're pleased when someone just yells something out unprompted.
Do you see any of that, Shawn, in your club? That I mean, how long could you have worked there? Not too long, but did you see any kind of shift with this?
I don't see a lot of people heckling. I don't think more than I had ever seen before. I mean, I did comedy in Boston for a long time before I moved to Bristol. So like, I don't think it's any more prevalent now than it ever was before. And I don't know if that's because Bristol just hasn't gotten TikTok yet.
Right. I see. When you're at like a Comedy Cellar, let's say, JP, and there's, 10 people going up a night, does like number 2 have to be like, no, you don't talk to me. You talk to number 1, you talk to. Number 2, you don't talk to me. Number 3, I could check the lineup. Number 4 is a talking to you. Number 5 is.
That might be a nice way to do it. Just have like a menu of comedians that you can heckle. Just have like if McDade is on the lineup, he's a dry one. He's not. Right. Don't talk to him. He's easily spooked. He will cry and urinate on himself if you say anything to him. I'm usually that guy who's like, if someone yells something out, I'm like, shut the fuck up. But I just kind of do jokes. But occasionally I'll do a little crowd work. But yeah, I think it does kind of affect other comedians sometimes. But it's not crazy as of right now.
Do you have go-tos like heckling responses ready?
A good one I've found is you ask them to repeat themselves because whatever they said was dumb, and they feel embarrassed about saying that, and then the attention is on them for a split second, and then when they start to repeat themselves, shut up. And like that works surprisingly well. Like that gets the audience right back on your side. Just on switch, off switch, just ta-ta.
Like high five, down low, you're too slow.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and even
Treat
if
them
the
like children, honestly.
Always.
even if the audience member deserves whatever they get back, the audience gets confused. It's almost like seeing somebody crying. You don't know the story, but you're like, I'm automatically on that person's side. And
Right.
comedians, I have to imagine they got to watch themselves and be like, I can't destroy you too much because that's going to confuse the audience, even though the audience acted like you. First of all, I love it's very exciting stuff when I'm in the club and that happens. But everybody else is like, you're really ruining everything. And then someone's like, shut the the comic attacks a little bit. And it's like, whoa, he's just a person.
And to your point, like there are maybe 5 or 6 people who are really good at crowd work and they're posting clips. And then there are 500 people who are posting clips of themselves having a mental breakdown.
Yes.
Members, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Like,
I'm like, did you post this or did the club post it or did the heckler post it? You look sad.
This is my dream.
Shawn, did you have to decide between a drink minimum and maximum? I know that the Comedy Cellar not only has a drink minimum, they have a drink maximum. Did you have to make these decisions?
Oh, wow.
Am I the only one who knows about that? I read it on their menu, but I don't know how much they follow it.
The maximum is a trick,
sure.
and it's a trick for stupid people to really think there's going to be a maximum. They'll take your money just fine. You'll be able to get
you heard it here first. I don't know. It was on the menu.
Trust me.
Keith breaks out his pocket constitution. Like, listen, you can't seize my property.
How about you, Shawn? What any rules there like that?
We don't have drink minimums. We don't have a check drop. We just
you don't even have to pay checks, right?
Yeah, you don't even have to pay. You just walk out. We don't have security. We just hope for the best.
Okay, so that covered the security question. Okay.
No,
I am the security.
That covers why you want to bring TikTok people. That's one. Number two, I think me and JP just got a little distracted by his screen because he must have updated his phone recently and he's coming in through his phone. And he gave a thumbs up physically in front of the camera of the phone. And his whole screen changed. And what was happening?
I could do that.
Yeah, but what was happening is Shawn was talking about like, we have no minimums. We have no check drops. And then JP's background like just
Fireworks.
physically changed as he,
America.
It was as if the music swelled at the same time. And then JP's face was like, am I doing that? What am I doing?
But I would have launched real fireworks if I could, because no drink minimum, no check drop is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, closing club though, now he has to. It makes it tough. I think it's a very, very tough decision because you know that you're curating this to the best of your ability. You know comedy. You have a sense of humor. You don't want to punish the audience for the comedy they're going to watch, but you also want to make sure that your lights stay on. Are you considering drink minimums or checks at all? Are you considering people paying for you to do work?
Bring your own food. Who gives a fuck?
Right, yeah.
He's got barbecue. He adopted a kid. It's like 2 years old. He's got bigger fucking problems right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like when people go to comedy shows, they're just very likely to get a drink anyways. So I feel like just like forcing it on them is I think that's kind of silly,
You know what? Right. That is true. I'm out and about, and even when I don't drink, I get something usually at a show because I'm out and about. Yes, give me the $4 Diet Coke.
And it does leave a bad taste in my mouth if I don't drink and I go to a club and they only have snacks, $5 pretzels or $7 popcorn. I'm like, but I don't want more pretzels. Yep. Now I just remember that you made me eat 10 pounds of pretzels. It does kind of bother me, New York Comedy Club, but whatever. Your adopted child, a rescue?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we fostered it into adoption. Yeah.
How's it going so far?
It's great. She's 3 years old. She just turned 3 years old.
Okay.
She's napping right now, so that's great.
Okay.
And, yeah, everything is wonderful. She's a great kid.
How long have you been at the club?
2.5 years.
Since we adopted her.
This is very good timing.
It's very easy.
Okay. All right, fantastic. You know what? I liked your joke a lot on your album. What was it? Oh, you learned that we don't say homeless, we say unhoused, and the reason you say that is because you can be unhoused, but you're not necessarily homeless. Homeless means you're without love, and Shawn says, yeah, okay, I'm ready to use the new words, but it's just weird. 10 years later, I learned in my first marriage I was homeless. Do you keep in touch with your ex at all?
God, no.
Okay. Like, there's no communication. Like, would she say, "Hey, this one track"? Like, are you wondering if you're going to get a phone call?
No, I don't think that she would have my phone number. I don't think I haven't talked to her in over a decade.
Oh, how nice. That's awesome.
Is it true that she's a hoarder and it bothered you that you got kicked out?
No, that was actually kind of like, when you kind of like lump two breakups together to make it a joke work so that you don't have to talk about all your exes.
Sure.
That's kind of like that. Yeah.
It might seem petty if each ex had a track. Is that what you're saying?
It might be what?
It might seem petty if each track was about an ex.
Oh, yeah. You just keep being like, in this other ex I had.
It might seem like it's your problem.
If every ex gets their own track, that's a Garth Brooks album. That's not a comedy.
Do you know your stand-up special title yet, JP? That's the hardest part.
Not yet. It really is. I'm still brainstorming some titles.
Right. In the best way to
bigger and blacker.
Oh, no, I hate to break it to you. All right, well, anyway, stay strong. December.
Ooh, you should call it "I'd Rather Be Golfing." Okay, all right.
Yeah, so he's going to look at the jokes that he wrote and then probably extrapolate from that.
Producer job. You're directing my special now.
Okay, I thought I was fired, but I just got a job. Excellent.
Totally redeemed yourself.
Thank you. I'm free starting March 8th. What are you doing? All right, December 17th, 2 shows. I might be going to the Saint one. Keith is going to the Devil one.
Okay. Oh, Saint.
You'll be on each of my shoulders, both of you. I can't wait to see you
guys. What should the audience know? Anything other than that?
Tickets are available either on the Bell House's website or through the Eventbrite link. In my profile is all my stuff produced by Stavi Baby Enterprises. It's the first one that they're doing.
Wow.
Surprises to be announced. We're going to have some, bigger names performing on the show. We're going to pack it out. It'll probably sell out soon, but get your tickets while you can.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, JP. Thanks for your time. Great seeing you. And I'm excited.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Nice
Take care.
Yes.
Oh, more fireworks. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I noticed this. Well, first of all, do you in your marriage now, when you guys watch TV, this just happened to me. When you guys watch TV, do you have shows that you watch together? And does she ever watch the show without you, even though you made that agreement?
We do have shows that we watch together.
Okay.
And she does not watch them without me. And if she did, I wouldn't mind because I'm out a lot of nights.
Okay. All right. Because me, it's such a big betrayal to me. And it's usually my girlfriend's idea in the first fucking then makes me wait. Then, oh, yeah, I did watch this because of whatever the fuck. And, I fuck her friends, and that's fine. Because at least that we didn't even discuss.
We're all just slightly inconvenienced, but now at least it's even.
What she did is more of a betrayal. We saw the other day The Killer on Netflix. It's David Fincher, the guy that did a Fight Club and a bunch of other good stuff.
Okay.
But this went straight to TV. And when they go straight to TV, surprise or fucking surprise, when you're David Fincher, I don't think you want your movie to go straight to TV. But I turn it on. I'm getting excited. This is such a boring piece of shit. And I realized something else that I think all directors should know. And it usually happens with only boring movies. I'm watching a movie instead of reading a book for a reason. Don't break it. Don't rate chapter 2 during a movie I'm watching. This has like 6 fucking chapters. You're not going back and forth in time or anything. So there's no point to the chapters. And it really just makes you count the time.
Oh, shit.
They go chapter 5. And I'm like, chapter 5? It's not even the epilogue, chapter 5. I checked the time. We're at 2 hours, 67 minutes. Fucking ridiculous. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. You whack off a lot?
What a follow-up question.
Oh, it was either that or football, Shawn, to be honest.
JP's gone. Let's get real. I whack it so often. And I masturbate so much, Shawn, that when I go to type in YouTube, I type in you porn by accident. Way too many times. And just earlier, I typed in you porn. I go, oh no, I meant YouTube. And then I go YouTube. I go like, no, I meant you porn. Okay, I was supposed to with that.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I don't know, you know, I saw on I do VR porn. You ever do that, Shawn?
Oh no. That's with like a mask and shit?
Yeah, mask and stuff. Yeah, you put a towel on your couch, you get a mask and stuff, you get your lube, poppers if you're advanced, and you go fucking nuts. You go nuts. But then you realize sometimes you didn't charge your VR. Now that's the walk of shame. You got to put everything back. It's very embarrassing. But nobody's looking. Yeah, get fucking nuts, no pun.
Don, in Tennessee, you have the room for VR.
Yeah,
you have space. Yeah.
I've been wondering what I should do with the garage.
Call it a man cave now, and then later when you get your VR, it's not so weird that nobody's allowed to walk in. Yeah. I looked up what's the best. I use this app called, what's the website? Wanks VR. Not a classy name, but they're pretty good at what they do.
You can't even fake that you're going somewhere else.
Right. Wanks. Welcome to Wanks. And every time a video starts, it goes, Wanks. Oh my God. Drippy goo. You know. And so I look up what's the best VR porn? Am I missing something? And good, there's some, you know, people wrote things down. I'll get some answers, but I'm so disgusted that people took the time to write it down. It's almost like a Yelp review. I like to read it, but who the fuck is the weirdo that wrote it? Who gives a fuck how their calamari was? It's so important, but good. Now I know not to get it. But it's kind of even like movie reviews. I look at Rotten Tomatoes a lot. I love movies. And I click it and I go, oh, okay, that's the answer, that percent. But who's the fucking weirdo on a Thursday night before people even know the movie's out officially that had to run home and go, one less percent. You're a weirdo and your family hates you. But thank you. Good to know.
It's so funny because your whole world is running on these reviews. Like it's so important to you. And it's also important to your career. Please, if you're right there, like and give us a review.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Everything that you do, you just listed. And all of that is helpful with so you read porn reviews before you?
Not reviews, but I don't know. This is the first time I ever did it. This is last night. It's the first time I ever did it. And
you're going by reviews.
Not reviews, just like, hey, what's out there in VR porn? What do we got? Is there a different site? Is there a different whatever? And
like roulette. Like, let's see what you decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there something new? It's 2023. Am I on my grandfather's wanks? You know what I mean? I don't know what you could do now. You got thermoses you can put on your dick. You know, a whole bunch of shit's happening.
Maybe this is not really related, but the show that I recently saw was a live dance show, and then they had this overlay of a screen that you couldn't see in front of the stage where they showed you animation that interacted with the live action, and I'm like, oh, this is blowing my mind.
See?
But then, you know, at halftime, what is that? Intermission, whatever it is for dancing, right? I wanted to turn around to my neighbors and be like, is your mind blown? Like, while I'm crying, I'm sniffling. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. I didn't even know we had the technology for this. And then I realized, I wonder if we have been in this technology for so long, and I'm like the old person in the theater going like, we're doing what? And, you know, everyone's like, oh, this one has the black and white version. And I'm like, oh, the rain is moving on screen. Oh.
Hey, your thing's blowing your mind. My thing's blowing my head. So I see on Reddit, there's a thread and they're talking about this wanks that I happen to go to. I'm like, all right, well, let's see. And what's a good porn? And this guy named VR Picasso writes, check out Better Late Than Wetter.
No.
It's good. Then this person writes back, What's so good about it?
No.
I've got a trial so can watch one video. So I want it to be an amazing one with good dirty talk. I would rather, honest to God, find out the person I'm with cheated on me. I really would. Than to come across that they wrote, I need the ultimate one. I only have time for a trial. Like, if you like porn or not. I bought a year subscription day one. It's VR for God's sakes. And it's tits and it's everything you love together.
Chris is saying Picasso.
yeah, Picasso.
Anna said that's amazing. What's the show? It's the Jungle Book reimagined. The Times gave it a really shitty review, and I was like, "Holy shit, Times! What is good enough for you?" I was like, "This is the most perfect thing I've ever seen." Chris is saying,
"Hold on. Sorry. Yeah. I think you misunderstood, Anna. It's called Better Late Than Wetter."
Oh, sorry.
Don't embarrass anybody.
I apologize. I was somewhere else. Chris is saying, wait till Chemda sees the Las Vegas Dome.
Right. Even the outside of it through pictures. I'll blow her
I'm
mind.
ready. I love that I still have an innocent mind.
So that's the Ketty alien is the one who asked, hey, I got to get the perfect one thing porn. VR Good Guy says, it's Lena Anderson, mega cute girl. Lots of shots with her face close to yours. There's a really hot section where you're fucking her face to face while standing up. I don't remember much about the dirty talk, but she teases you a lot. The storyline involves the two of you knowing each other since grade school. She plays your neighbor and knows your mom and stuff. She kind of makes fun of you throughout the scene. Some light humiliation about being a nerd or something back in the day. But now you're a big boy, and she wants to know how well you can fuck her and last. Who rates this? And then the original person asking the question rates back, sounds awesome, thanks. How's the quality?
No.
You're fucking weirdo. Just put a towel down and whack it.
You know what? Trump got less follow-up questions on the debate.
Right.
Wow. Pizza says, wait till Roger Rabbit comes to Broadway. That's a great idea.
Oh, I have that porn parody.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Roger Fappet. You wouldn't know these terms. Don't worry about it. So let me ask you, let me go over this story rather. This is speaking of comedians, Tiffany Haddish. You know the comedian Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish faces a DUI charge in Beverly Hills after she fell asleep behind the wheel.
No.
In the middle of traffic. Scary. Didn't even pull over.
That's good. You're in traffic. You're stopped. So how bad could you really, hey, that's best case scenario. You're in traffic, getting sober.
She was arrested Friday morning. She was not involved in an accident. The police got a call around 5:45 a.m. about someone stopping in the middle of Beverly Drive, apparently slumped over the wheel while the car was running.
Damn.
I'd just be like, I couldn't find these new cars without the keyholes. I didn't even know what to do. She'll be cited for DUI. She's released now. She performed at the Laugh Factory in West Hollywood Thursday night for the club's free Thanksgiving feast for the community. Okay. That's a lot of work. Those turkeys, they get heavy.
You got to cheers to that.
This is the second DUI arrest for Haddish, who was also busted under similar circumstances in January of 2022. That court case didn't even come up yet, so maybe they can lump it together somehow.
Oh no!
Yeah. Sure, give her a 2 for 1.
Yeah,
she was responded to. She goes 2 for 1. That's a great deal. No, Tiffany. God damn it. Peachtree City PD also responded to a call of someone sleeping behind the wheel. When they responded to the area at the time, they found Tiffany pulling into a neighborhood. She was booked for DUI and improper stopping on the roadway. That case, the first case, goes to trial December 4th.
Oh, boy. Fuck.
But now she's making jokes about it on stage because comedians can't help themselves. The trial didn't happen yet.
Ooh.
Somebody said, let's see. What happened last night? This is the next day. So that would have been, Saturday, I guess. What happened last night? And she responded, I don't know. You tell me. So that's a little joke that she was so fucked up she doesn't know. And then added, I prayed to God to send me a man with a job, preferably in a uniform. God answered my prayers.
Well, that's funny. So
that's funny, but I don't know if judges have a sense of humor.
Well, don't buy tickets to the show.
I don't think it's the show itself. I think it comes in the paper.
Well, she's got to eat.
She does have to eat. That's true. That's true. A video obtained by TMZ showed Haddish being escorted off by officers in the same outfit from her Thanksgiving gig at 5:45 in the morning.
She should have claimed Black Friday. That's just
She
what
should have
we
what?
do. Just said, "Hey, Black Friday." That's just what we do, and then just
Right.
just pause to see. Does she have a left?
Are you hearing the story about the Young Thug, the rapper, who's been in jail for some time? I'll tell you the story, but they're bringing in his rap lyrics that sound dangerous and using them in conjunction with proof of him causing crimes. And I think it's a great idea, but then I just read like 2 sentences about it where I guess people are saying it's a racial thing because who else do you use lyrics from in a
I don't like
case?
this at all. Is he a real cowboy on a steel horse he rides? Like, we're taking, where else are we go? I'm a Barbie girl. Like, are you? How far are we going to?
But it's not a crime. But it's not a crime to ride a steel horse.
Okay.
And you didn't get busted on a motorcycle, and you happen to talk about how you
my
love
manager's
motorcycles.
crazy. He always always smokes dust at the back of the bus. That's Beastie Boys. Who
okay,
else?
so don't show the lyrics into court, but just as a detective, go let's find out if this guy is smoking dust in the back of the bus.
I don't think so. Because a lot of times I've written songs and sometimes I write that lyric because it is the most controversial. Sometimes I write that lyric because it will make you feel the most. Sometimes I write that lyric because it rhymes. And I guess dust rhymes with things.
She said she loved me. It's like, that's just art I was making, Your Honor. I want a divorce.
Right. Are you taking it to divorce cases? I couldn't help myself. What does that mean? Is that consensual? Does it sound consensual? I know you want it, but you're a good girl. Is that just dirty talk, or am I a rapist now?
I think it's
what trial am I on? This is bananas.
His lyrics were so specific, though. I used a Glock, bought it at Walmart. You can see me on the video, put it right in my car at the one on 7th. I think 4:30 p.m. post meridium. Then I shot a kid, the ultimate sin. It's so specific, He fell on his left side because I shot him on his right. Bust me, bitch. I'm on 7th and 9th. They're so specific. Oh, my goodness. I'm jesting. Fulton County DA alleged that Grammy-winning rapper Young Thug is the co-founder of a criminal street gang responsible for violent acts dating back a decade.
I'm the best you've ever had. Is that going on trial? That's got to be a lyric to somebody.
Prosecutors say YSL, the acronym for the artist label Young Stoner Life Records, also stands for Young Slime Life, an Atlanta-based street gang affiliated with the National Bloods gang. The artist was charged alongside more than 24 other people under the state's expansive Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO. The case has also drawn fierce criticism over prosecutors using the rap lyrics as proof of the gang's existence. So they're saying there is no gang. And they're like, well, on the street, we're hearing there is a gang. And you happen to be singing about the gang that people on the street are talking about. Is that too much?
On the streets, you're hearing what? Do it the way legally you're supposed to do it. And that's not with rhymes. That is not, we're not going to take people's poetry either. Shakespeare killed everybody in his plays. Like this is, and what about all of the what if 1, 2 Freddie's coming for you?
Is Freddie really coming for you?
Is Freddie coming? I mean,
first of all, the whole town hated Freddie. And I don't know if you remember that, but they all tried to burn him at every show. A Young Thug who was born Jeffrey Williams. Well, that's going to happen. Hey,
is Jeffrey Williams your real name? Let's go to the music.
Well, that's the thing that's going to happen. They're going to be like, now, Mr. Thug, Your Honor, Jeffrey Williams was arrested in May 2022 and charged along with 27 other people, including rappers Gunna and Yak Gotti. Several defendants took plea deals last December. Well, that's never good. Including Gunna and Young Thug's older brother. That's not good.
You know what's great? He's in the studio now rhyming things like, I never did anything bad. Please don't send me to jail. That would make me so sad. This is all the truth now. I was just joking before. If you do this, I'll be on the floor.
Well, Hemda didn't win a Grammy yet, but Young Thug did.
Yeah, but if we're going by lyrics, then Young Thug should get into the studio, maybe change his name. P. Diddy was able to do it. J-Lo was able to do it. A lot of people were able to do it. Change your name and change your lyrics, write a new thing, and then force them to have to bring that into court as well. According to the new lyrics, Your Honor, this guy has never done anything, never will do anything, and promises and crosses his heart. I think we should take that into evidence.
6 defendants, including Young Thug, are still facing trial. He has remained in custody since his arrest. To support their allegations of a street gang, prosecutors listed more than 180 acts in the indictment that the group of defendants allegedly committed, dating back to 2012, including murder, aggravated assault, armed robbery, carjacking, drug sales, theft, and possession of firearms during the commission of a felony. Young Thug is saying, but those words rhyme with a lot of things.
I just feel like if he did all of that stuff, there is other evidence other than his music, and go do your job.
The additional charges stemmed from a search warrant executed by authorities at the home of the rapper was staying in, where drugs and firearms were found, according to as listed in track number 4 in Business is Business.
Whatever. I guess we write what we know, but unless I'm writing an autobiography and didn't go through legal and all of it, you know what I mean? Like this is not fair. I think if he is a criminal, then you already know he's a criminal. You know how to find out how to, prosecute him. Like just do the regular shit that you do. Pizza is saying he's no longer Young Thug, now upstanding citizen.
Right. Prosecutors used a number of rap lyrics earlier this month in a trial. They include excerpts from Young Thug in which the rapper says, "Got a lot of followers, a perfect leader. I'm a boss. I call the shots. Come and enroll in the YSL school, and I swear I'm the principal." Well, he's making it pretty clear he's in charge, but again, just art. I never killed anybody, but it got something to do with the body. In fact, he rented it, not lyrics, he really did, rented a car that 3 days later was used for a murder.
Okay.
Experts say rap lyrics are the only form of art that have been repeatedly brought into courtrooms, most often as incriminating evidence against artists of color. In September 2022, Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom of California signed a bill limiting the use of rap lyrics in criminal court cases. The following month, the Northern California judge vacated the murder convictions of 2 black men, ruling prosecutors used the rap lyrics, created years before the killing, likely injected racial bias in the jury proceedings. By the way, speaking of racial bias, that's a lot of tattoos on Young Thug's face.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, Louisiana's Democratic governor signed into law the Restoring Artistic Protection Act, which prohibits a defendant's creative or artistic expression from being used as evidence. But that's not how it's going to work for this one, it seems.
That's weird. There's a reason for that.
Sure.
There's a reason why people's art is protected. And I don't know that I get that it could actually be the lyrics are actually true. I still think you have to go by the way we're going to be treating other people. I also will reiterate, like before, if he did all of these things, then all of these things have evidence, and catch him like you're supposed to.
The trial is expected to take months and could feature a star-studded list of witnesses. Now we're talking. A list of those who could potentially take the stand submitted by prosecutors earlier this year include rapper Lil Wayne. You're like, Lil Wayne, take the stand. You got me, bitch. It's not about you, sir. Then I'm free, bitch. Motherfucker. Yeah, I'm excited. Sure. Well. Let's say, like, hey, if you are thinking, why did you do the crime? And then you put it in lyrics. But you know what? Honestly, when I hear somebody do stand-up, if I hear that it's a true story, a little extra integrity points, Like, I don't want him making up a crime across the country. I want to hear exactly what really happened. And to me, that's integrity. And I enjoy that as an artist.
I could see that because making something that's true and, like, I guess sad or weird or whatever, embarrassing, making that funny is easier than something happening that's not vulnerable and you make a funny, but we're still not going to take people's jokes to trial. Ryan V is saying the real Slim Shady murdered his mom and girlfriend like 1,000 times.
Yeah, look into it. Look into it. Until you have some proof, you don't take him to trial. But when you have the proof, it's kind of interesting. A trunk was involved. That's all. Like, but it'd be like, no, but yes, I do like the artists that are out there. If they are telling the truth, I like to hear it. What would it be like if I told the audience right now, I don't really hate my dad, but we had fun with it, didn't we? Well, that'd be a bummer. Yeah, there's that you go to get the lawyer, like, okay, and who's my client? What's your name? Young Thug. Shit. Okay. And that's your real face with all those tattoos.
Is he young anymore?
Right.
Because like, I don't know. Maybe I was a young thug, you know? What's the truth now, bitch?
As I'm looking at I don't think there's an empty spot on his face. That's got to be a little scary. All right, sum all this up for us, Shawn. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think he's innocent. It's pretty clear.
Is that what you got?
I was taking it all in, and I don't think you should go by lyrics or facts. Right, witnesses or cameras or hey, look, I got my own problems over here. You know. Hi, Keith and Chemda. I'm Rob from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Yeah,
I'm a longtime listener, a proud VIP member, and I give so many shits about this email.
Go ahead and wipe.
Please. I had a pretty surreal moment a couple days ago when I was listening to episode 3746, and you read an email from Jeff in Halifax. He told a story about being at a Canada Day concert in his Keith and the Girl shirt, and some weirdo shouting party at him a couple of times. Do you remember this?
Stop it. Yes, I do.
At a concert, and he said somebody kept yelling party. When me and Chemda were together, Chemda would leave the house to go somewhere, and I'd yell, party, and then she'd close the door and I'd yell super party just to myself as if she's missing out on something. It didn't work out, Shawn. So but that became like a fun little Keith and the Girl thing. So this guy sees somebody in a Keith and the Girl shirt and yells party, and the guy wasn't really paying attention until like on the 5th party, and then he's like, oh shit, sorry, super party. This guy says, hey, yeah, I was the other guy. I was that weirdo, he says. For proof, it was a concert at Alderney Landing and Jeff was standing near the front of the stage.
Oh my God, if there was a person standing next to them, be like, I was the person standing next to them. I just heard party, super party. I went home, I Googled it.
I vaguely remember being incredibly baked and being really excited to see a Keith and the Girl fan out in the wild. I felt pretty bad about putting him on the spot and freaking him out. I could see a pretty intense fear in his eyes. This has been one of the cringy moments that I think about every couple of years or so when I'm trying to sleep. I feel a whole lot better now that Jeff has a fond memory of our interaction. Peace, love, and Keith and the Girl from Nova Scotia. Love you guys, Rob.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't Canadians know they're just nice? It's not going to be a bad thing. No worries. Go to sleep, Canadians.
Dear Keith and Chemda, I started listening within the first few weeks of the show's inception on my first generation iPod. This is back in 2005. Although my repertoire of podcasts has changed a lot since then, I've consistently looked forward to hearing the newest episodes of Keith and the Girl every day since. You both have been a constant in my ears for so long, through school, relationships, jobs, cross-country moves, getting married on the exact same day as Chemda's wedding, 2 kids. And
don't tell me when that is. I gave it up in my head.
Right. And I'm not a vocal listener and don't really participate in the forums, but I am a VIP supporter and have quietly but thoroughly enjoyed your show over the many years. I imagine you have other listeners like me, people who love and support the show, but who don't tell you often enough. The way your personalities play off each other is so unique and will really be missed after Chemda leaves the show, but I'm confident Keith will find someone to co-host with their own unique contribution. Shawn, this was a big test. And I'll, of course, continue listening and supporting. I will, however, really miss having Chemda in my ears on a regular basis. Chemda.
Yes.
I've learned so much from hearing about your own struggles and how you navigated challenging situations by educating yourself and making tough choices in order to blaze a path of peace and happiness. I truly admire the balance you strike between empathy and your willingness to call out bullshit and being direct when something or someone isn't making sense. They're just lyrics, for God fucking sakes. Yeah, yeah. Rather than passively complaining about the myriad of life's challenges thrown at you, you choose to do the hard work of seeking to learn more and make tough choices. I'm confident that you will continue to be awesome and will succeed in finding the happiness you so deserve.
And
just
also
know that
with you.
And also with you. Just know that you've left an indelible and positive mark on so many of your listeners over the years. I will so miss hearing your voice almost every day, which seems absurd considering you know nothing about me. And yet you've helped shape the person I've become in so many ways. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us, and best of luck on your next endeavor, Bonnie. P.S. Keith, you're pretty great too. Please don't stop doing the show. All right. Thank you. KeithAndTheGirl.com/kick. You'll see everything going on there if I just shocked you. KeithAndTheGirl.com, KICK. And assuming the Kickstarter goes through, this February 3rd and 4th is the marathon. We'll be recording 24 hours. Listen and watch live and get your copy. Get it a week before everyone else. Fuck them. Get the entire marathon, both audio and video, by going to our Kickstarter right now. Plus, the only way that you can get the bonus hour of the marathon, the 25th hour of the marathon, this is the only way. We don't sell this outside of the Kickstarter at all.
We've never
We're known for it. People beg. We go, nah, it's in our Kickstarter. Fuck off. They're like, I have a Keith and the Girl tattoo. I'm like, then ask it. Because the rules are rules. We're going to have chaos. KeithAndTheGirl.com/kick. Get the exclusive bonus hour at the Keith and the Girl Kickstarter before it's over. That's exciting. If you're a fan of like last week on Keith and the Girl or Newsy's show Q&A, this is an hour with the people that were behind the scenes of the marathon, and we get all the dirt on people's attitudes and everything. So that's a lot of fun too. They're
basically telling us for the first time, because there are 2 rooms during the marathon. There's the live room that we're going to be in, just like this, and then there's the back end where we're not there at all. So Newsy, I hope you're available February 3rd and 4th, because I was thinking of, because Newsy pre-interviews on most of our marathons,
right?
And we sometimes have like 1 or 2 questions that he can go to if the guest is not giving or just wants to participate like that. I thought one of the questions could be, have you ever left anything that was big? Like, have you ever left anything?
Oh, sure.
Has it ever been challenging, right? But he should say first, have you ever left anything hard? And then go, have you ever left anything difficult?
Oh, my goodness. I can't even.
Huh? We'll work on it. It's production. Sorry, behind the scenes. We're working on it.
So take a look. Thank you very much for everybody that gave and collected a reward. It's very exciting. KeithAndTheGirl.com/kick. Well, speaking of which, this sounds like a new life, kind of, with Shawn. He's got his 3-year-old baby now. He's got the comedy club. He took in a lot of notes today about how to run it.
Oh
my goodness, Shawn. That was a silly talk. Don't listen to my lyrics, Shawn. Never happened. I masturbate like a regular person. Please, my goodness. Shawn, it's very nice meeting you. What should the audience know, Shawn? Other than, of course, the album is coming out in December.
Yeah, sure. It's coming out December 15th, and you can find it on iTunes or Bandcamp or on the Blonde Medicine website.
Excellent.
And if you're in the hood, where's your...
Yeah, if you're near Bristol, Tennessee, it's Blue Ridge Comedy Club in Bristol, Tennessee.
Listen, if you're in Bristol, Tennessee, you Google Comedy Club on the Maps Google machine. What do you think is going to come up? This guy. So if you haven't been to a comedy club and you're going, well, I'm in Bristol, where the fuck am I going to go? Hello, Shawn's here.
Yeah.
So wear your Keith and the Girl gear and go out and say hi to someone and, represent well, do the good rap lyrics when you're out.
But what's cool is he doesn't even care if you drink or eat. I
mean, please drink and eat. But.
Bring a burger. Who gives a shit? It's going to be fun. Did you name the comedy club?
My wife did.
Yeah. Okay. Say the name again.
It's the Blue Ridge Comedy Club.
That's a good name because you know what? Comedians feel disrespected as is, and then you got to come into work 2 nights at Chuckle Farts, and it really puts you in your place. This lets you have a little pride. I
think she didn't want to say my husband owns Ha Ha Hoo Hoo,
Right.
Knee slapping good time.
Yeah.
.com.
I like it.
All right.
Well, congrats, Shawn. It was very nice meeting you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Kemda's going to close up here, then we'll say goodbye properly, if you please.
So, Shawn, behind the scenes, we're not behind the scenes, we're in front of the scenes, but behind the show scenes, we just recently had a guest who was the opposite of an open book, and we would ask him questions, and he'd be like, no thanks, but without saying no thanks, just kind of like not answering. So I think our audience today was really nervous to meet you, and they have been only saying good things. They have shown relief in this chat, like, oh, good, he's sharing. Like, it's, I felt I'm only reading, right? And I can't see them, but I felt them collectively hold their breath and then a sigh of relief as you were talking. So just know that like you were very, very welcomed on the show. You did fantastic. And I'm just going to read one thing here. And Chris is standing out with his emoji guitar and says, Wank's World. Excellent. Oh.
But that's a dick.
So thank you, Picasso, and everyone for being here. We'll see you